Pole position for Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement. This 2.59 mile circuit run anti-clockwise, one of the very few anti-clockwise World Championship tracks. In fact, I might go as far as to say it's the only one we visit, but I'm not absolutely 100%. But race one took place over 18 laps. It was always going to be tough with these guys. We'll have a good look at what happened in race one and then pick up race two live for you. The sun was beating down. The Christies are here. Sam and Tom Christie came to play. A long way for them to come to Croatia, but good to have them back on the world stage. The lights went out, you could hear the revs build. Todd Ellis dumped the clutch, as indeed did Kershaw, as indeed did Harry Payne. Schlosser going well. Benny Stroyer and Kevin Kolsch shot up the inside to grab fourth place from Harry Payne. So that was a quick early move from Benny Stroyer. He's been on fire this season, no doubt about that. At the front though, Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement leading. Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charwood, with the defending champion Schlosser and Fries firmly placed in third, with Stroyer behind them. The Santander Salt Yamaha getting away in the early stages. 15 turns on this track, 9 lefts, 6 rights, and of course there are always going to be more lefts than there are rights by nature of the fact that it's anti-clockwise. The top two then were getting away at this point, but a real battle opening up for fourth place as Harry Payne tried desperately to muscle his way past Benny Stroyer. Those two having the same. Good to see Kershaw running so strongly here, and he did really have a good weekend. Ted Peugeot back in business, moving out to go past the Christies. Sam and Tom Christie, their first toe in the water for World Championship racing in 2022. Good to see them back. But now they've been relegated by young Ted Peugeot with Father Vincent in the chair. Lucas Wiesen got a cracking start as well, the young Swiss. Benny Stroyer still not losing touch with the third place man, Marcus Schlosser, who seems to have lost touch with the two in front of him, that's for sure. They're disappearing into the distance. The onboard cameras giving us an absolutely perfect perspective of this track, which only has about a 10% elevation change. Harry Payne then looking hard now at Benny Stroyer to try and grab that place back, and he tried all race long and really gave a good account of himself. Ted Peugeot moved out to have a look at Lucas Wiesen. Having got past the Christies, he was the next one for them to challenge, and Peugeot and Wiesen renewed that battle that they've had pretty much all season long. They run so closely at the same speed. Just look at the sky, think of the temperature, 18 laps in this heat. Peugeot pulled out on the right over the start-finish line and heading for that sweeping right-hander and then the hard left. Back at the front though, it was Ellis, but Kershaw was not losing touch at all. Harry Payne was coming up to play and really made it a three-way scrap for third place. Schlosser had a fight on his hands with Benny Stroyer, who was really determined and looked good in actual fact all weekend, just as he has in recent meetings, has really come into his own and clicked with Kevin Kolsch. But Schlosser, we know what his racecraft is like, we know how his stamina holds up, but he appeared to be slowing a little bit. These two were closing on him. Harry Payne and Mark Wilkes right there on the Dow 1886 Yamaha, and once more Kevin Cable and Claude Vinet, the number 9 Frenchman on that distinctive purple burgundy outfit, had their battle going. They've been scrapping all season long. They'll become the best of buddies at this rate, and they were fighting just as hard here in Rijeka in race one. Schlosser still defending that third place, and he had to really work hard for it. Peugeot was past Wiesen, and the Christie brothers not losing touch at all. Riding strongly in the British Championship as well as this their first. Harry Payne through on Stroyer, so that pushed Stroyer back down further one place, and in actual fact Harry Payne now had the smell of a podium in his nostrils because he could see Schlosser not too far up the road, about 3 bike lengths. Blue flag to Kevin Cable and Claude Vinet because the quick men are coming through. They're having their own race, of course, and they're in for good points, of course, and they did indeed score good points. Kershaw went past Vinet. Kevin Cable, would he get underneath Kevin Cable? In fact, he did not, so he had to choose to go the other side. Kevin obviously knew he was there because the flags had been waved, but Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charwood having a great ride on the Quattro Yamaha. Benny Stroyer got second wind and was having a really serious go at Harry Payne and Mark Wilkes, who got safely around Kevin Cable. Benny Stroyer trying the same move. Kevin Cable at this point closed the door a bit. There was contact. Benny Stroyer crashed. Out came the red flag, and it was game over. But Ellis and Clement declared winners. Let me say at this point, Benny was knocked about a bit, was checked over in the med centre, and the doctors told him he couldn't race again this weekend. So no result for him, but confirmation of a win for Ellis from Kershaw. A brilliant ride ahead of Schlosser, Payne and Wilkes, the Peugeot boys, Wiesen, Christies, Vinet, and Kevin Cable, of course, DNF as well. That's the podium. Race 2 then under a cloudless sky here, and it is baking hot, hence the massive umbrellas. Just look at that. Todd and Emmanuel Clement. Kershaw must be buoyed with his second place in the opening race. Well, they're on the line for this one, another 18 laps. Schlosser needs to do better than third if he's going to stay in touch. What a great ride we had from Harry Payne and Mark Wilkes. They were really, really good. Ted Peugeot as well. I'm glad he's done the full season. We needed him on the stage, that young Frenchman. What a talent he is. So much more to come. Well, siren going. Everybody off the grid. 18 laps. Watch the red flag, and then the lights will come in at the top, in the middle of the bridge. Revs are rising. 18 laps, lights are on, then they're out and away they go, and from the right-hand side, Schlosser gets an absolute flyer to get alongside Kershaw. Now, can he hold it going into this very, very first right-hander, and then the left? Schlosser then has got his nose in front, so already Schlosser and Fries up to second place. They had to do something in this race, and he's gone for it from the word go. The thing is, can he stay in touch with Todd Ellis, who's already got 10 bike lengths? Ellis and Clement away with it already here. Not a cloud in the sky. It's baking hot. The track temperature got to be something in the high 40s. But good for these big Avon sticky tyres. They'll love it. Ellis and Clement leading race 2, leading the championship. The defending champion Schlosser must wonder where it's all going wrong this year. He's now got Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charwood breathing down his neck. Kershaw and Harry Payne and Mark Wilkes have come up to play as well on the Dow 1886 Yamaha. So the Quattro Yamaha, the red and white one in the middle of your picture, being chased by Lucas Wiesen, Ted Peugeot, and there Sam and Tom Christie. This is second place, opening up now for Kershaw. Looks like he's slowing. Schlosser appears to be slowing. Fighting back though, Sidecar wheel pawing the air. Ryan Charwood, quite a diminutive fellow, but he uses his body weight well. Passengers are generally not big in any case. They need to be fairly small and agile and nimble and move around the sidecar as freely as they possibly can. But Schlosser slipped all the way back down the order. He's obviously got a problem. Schlosser and Fries are down to 7th place at this moment in time, behind Sam and Tom Christie. Well, would you believe it? Ellis and Clement romping away with it. At the moment, Emmanuel Clement doing her thing again. How many more times do we need to say what a brilliantly talented young lady she is? They work so well together, and they're on target for a debut championship without putting the commentator's curse on it or the muckles and anything. But they are going so well. Cloudless sky here on this 2.59 mile circuit. in Rijeka. Been used so many years, of course, by the sidecars. It's a favourite on the sidecar calendar. Ted and Vincent Peugeot, 74 in the wheel tracks of Harry Payne and Mark Wilkes. Schlosser and Fries still going. They're soldiering on. Whatever the problem was, maybe it's cured itself. Todd Ellis moving about a little bit over the track there, coming into that left-hander. But they've got a fantastic lead. Here come Kershaw and Charlwood in second place again. Harry Payne, Mark Wilkes, Benny Straw and Kevin Cole sitting this one out. Both knocked about a bit second-hand. Bike's okay, but as I said at the end of the first race, he was told he would not be able to race again this weekend. On board with Steve Kershaw. We wish Benny well, of course. All of us in the sidecar paddock wish Benny Straw well. He's a very, very able competitor, as indeed is the man we're watching now. In fact, the couple we're watching now. Having the best weekend so far, Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charlwood. They've always said that they would learn more as the season unfolded and they would get to grips with the top three. Well, they have got to grips with the top three. Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement in control, but Kershaw seems to be closing them down a little bit. At the back of this sextet, Sam and Tom Christie. And then, of course, Marcus Schlosser, Marcel Fries. Damage limitation, riding for points. Kevin Cable was punctured with that Benny Straw incident in race one, but rear tyre replaced, renews his battle with Claude Vinet. Great to see Kevin having such a full season. Absolutely loving it. Touring Europe, racing, living the dream, why not? Over the line they go. Schlosser now appears to have got the thing going again. He's not losing touch on the outfit in front, but still a bit of a lonely ride for him. That's Sam and Tom Christie. Now, if he could stay with the Christies and get past them, we can assume that his Yamaha's running well. The Gus Doyle bike is back on a mission. Whatever it was, might have cured itself. Let's hope so. We need Schlosser in the points. We need all these guys in the points, actually. A fairly depleted grid again, but we've got quality, and that's what counts. There's someone all the way down the field racing, and that's what we like to see. Schlosser now on the back of the number 34 Christie Engineering Yamaha. Christie Engineering Services build, prepare, tune. Whatever it is that keeps sidecars going, they do it at home in Beverly. Out in front, Kershaw looks like he's closing. There's a problem. There's a problem with Ellis. Both he and Emmanuel Clement had their hands up to pit wall as they came over. Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement have an issue here in Rijeka. Steve Kershaw will have seen that. He will sense it, that they're coming back to him now. Is his day just about to get better? It looks like it. It looks like Ellis is out. It looks like he's retiring. Well, has Ellis stopped or is he still soldiering on? That we don't know from this perspective. But what we do know is that Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charlwood lead race 2 here in Rijeka. And what a feeling that must be for them to see a clear track ahead and know that everybody is behind. Ellis and Clement still fighting, but obviously at a reduced pace. Something is not right. We don't know what that is. Harry Payne and Mark Wilkes, they're in third place now, as they've been pretty much all race actually. A great ride for that pair again. What a shame they missed out on the Belgian round at Spa due to TT duty. Such a shame, because they'd be much higher up the standings. Coming here, they were way down the order in 10th place, but this will do their championship standings the world of good. Kershaw in third, is about to take a chunk out of Schlosser's points ahead of him. Schlosser now on the back of Lucas Wiesen. Lucas Wiesen and Thomas Hofer, Gustoil sponsored teammates to the defending champions. Harry Payne and Mark Wilkes. And it's Ted Peugeot. Ted Peugeot having a great ride here. In pit lane, looks like a front wheel problem for Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement. Something not happy with the steering on the front end. Harry Payne and Mark Wilkes. What a great ride they're having. There's Kershaw, way up the road. Kershaw and Charlwood out of sight. But it's a fantastic result and a great ride for Harry Payne and Mark Wilkes. Ted Peugeot coming next with Schlosser and Fries behind him, and then it's Lucas Wiesen. So obviously Schlosser's problem, if not completely, has partially cured itself. Ellis and Emmanuel Clement joining then to try and salvage some points from this. If they think they've solved the problem, then they're going to have to go hard. We don't know at this stage what the problem was, but doubtless we'll find out in due course. Race leaders, second place for Harry Payne and Mark Wilkes, third place for Ted Peugeot. Markus Schlosser though, closing. Is it going to be another podium for Markus Schlosser? He desperately needs those points. Ted Peugeot though looking really good at the moment in third place. Yeah, the second place crew, they're a bit strung out now, but no disputing the leaders, Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charlwood. Peugeot still holding off the reigning and defending champion. You can see it on board then from Schlosser's camera. The French duo, the son driving, the father in the sidecar. What a wonderful feeling that must be for him. How proud must he be to see his son driving like a veteran, like an accomplished world sidecar racer, which of course he is, and then some. Schlosser staying with them. Is there going to be an opportunity for him to grab a podium? Well, the sun still beating down here. Out in front now, safe in the lead. Oh, look at Schlosser. Schlosser closing on the back of Ted Peugeot. Vincent had a little glance there. Heard something coming, had a quick look. He moves well, doesn't he? For a gentleman on the wrong side of 30, if I can put it that way. Schlosser using all the curb and more to try and get behind. He's alongside, neck and neck, but there's nothing in it for speed. But he's going to go up the inside and on the brakes. That's his favourite move, into that left-hander. It's a lovely jink, and now there's another right-hander coming up, and it's a sharp right, a very sharp right, and then a double apex, another right. Round they go. Turn 4 then, up to a double left on turn 5. But it's game over for Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement. It is a terminal retirement. Whatever it was has not been fixed. So it will be 0 points, nil point for the championship leaders, enabling all the crews behind to close up, and more importantly for him, Markus Schlosser. Second place then, Harry Payne and Mark Wilkes coming round. Schlosser now has got them in his sights, but he's in third, and it might just be enough. Kershaw and Charlwood on their way to victory here. This is incredible. What a fantastic weekend they will deem this in Croatia. Look at these long sweeping straights. Over the line they go. Checkered flag and victory for Kershaw and Charlwood. How sweet do you want it? Second for Harry Payne, and podium for Markus Schlosser after recovering from 7th place. Incredible. 4th place for Ted Peugeot, but that is something of a ride for Kershaw. He is delighted, and why wouldn't he be? Confirmation then of the podium. Kershaw, Payne, Schlosser, Peugeot. What a brave ride from the French couple. Wiesen, Christ is there in 6th. Ellison Cable, DNF.